Hey GlamFam, Linwood here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how your sleeping pattern affects your hair growth and your length retention. Stay tuned. You clicked on this and you're probably already interested in how your sleeping patterns can impact your hair growth. And I will tell you, one of the number one questions that seems to throw people off when I get new clients is, how do you sleep? Usually they're like, wait, what? I don't know if they feel like I'm asking them like, do you wear lingerie? Do you do this? I don't really care what you do in your personal life. I don't care how many kids you got and how you got them. Sometimes I'm okay with how many kids you got because it doesn't get as graphic. I'm asking these type of questions because I need to know so that way I can help you out with your regimen in terms of how to get healthier hair. I ask them in a specific way so people give me honest answers rather than giving me the answer I want to hear. And that way I can actually address the issue. Typically, if you're sleeping on a thirsty fabric, like let's say you come home, you're that person who's always exhausted, and you sit down on the couch and you find that you're frequently waking up on that same couch, you should be wrapping your hair before you ever sit down on that couch. Using the right types of fabrics and things on your hair is going to be beneficial because it's not going to absorb all of the moisture out of your hair. We don't need you looking like you got lost in the middle of the woods and got attacked by wolves and beat with ugly sticks and Lord knows what else in the midst of trying to get your hair done, and then you want to come to someone like me to fix it, and fixing damage is easier than preventing you know what I'm saying. Preventing damage is easier than fixing damage. My main recommendation when you are sleeping is to make sure that you are using satin or silk. Well, it was actually this way. Satin or silk. They are not as thirsty as cotton, wool, nylon, lycra. Insert other fabric here. You want to keep in mind that your hair is naturally going to lose moisture, especially if you are normal to high porosity anyway. It's much more prone and prevalent to you losing moisture. And I need to go ahead and do more videos on porosity because it goes so deep. Whenever you're dealing with the hair, you typically want to ensure that you're keeping that moisture balance as high as possible, and you're already going to be losing moisture due to environmental factors like the sun, heat, wind, regular manipulation, evaporation. There's so many different things that can lead to moisture coming out of that hair, and especially if you have a moisture deficient hair type as it is, you're already kind of fighting an uphill battle. So this is a simple change that you can do to ensure that that hair is going to be in optimal health. Whenever you have your hair out, things like this, using a bonnet can be great. Whenever you have your hair in braided styles, protective styles where it's tied down, you need it to stay flat, using a scarf can be fantastic. And I will tell you, because I had a client tell me just yesterday when I asked her about her sleep regimen, she told me, oh, I do wear satin, but it doesn't stay on my head well, so I put on a bandana first and then I put it on, and that way if it comes off, my hair is still wrapped. What's wrong with you, child? Like, look at this. There's a reason why they make these in scarves that can be tied tighter. Throwing a bonnet on a style that needs to be tied tight does not work. That's part of the reason why you're losing it. Secondly, or as I like to say with my friends, secondlyest, cotton makes bandanas. Cotton is thirsty. When you make a spill on the floor, you clean that spill up with cotton because it's absorbent. If you're putting it on your head and then putting on satin, you're putting a thirsty fabric directly against your hair. That means that it's going to be absorbing that moisture. So let's say you're a wild sleeper and you can't keep these babies on your head, much like myself. This is where getting a satin pillowcase like this comes in, so you can be double protected. Like so. That way we don't have thirsty here, non-thirsty there, and then if this comes off, we're chilling on thirsty. Now, I will tell you, if you are a wild sleeper like myself, I have satin sheets, and not only is it very sexy and rather nice and cool in the summertime when you get in, it allows me to not have to worry about, because I don't wear stuff like this. It doesn't stay on my head. Plus I have hair that has to be restyled every day, so what am I trying to conserve? Let's be real. This can sometimes slide off the bed. Being on satin in terms of sheets can be fantastic because not only does it make sure that no matter what, my head is on satin, it also ensures that my skin is on satin on a non-thirsty fabric. And the reason why that's important is because it's going to help to keep my skin's moisture balance high. You guys, I do not use lotion. I don't have to. The nice thing about it too is my wife has eczema, and we don't have nearly as many flare-ups and things due to dryness because of her sleeping on thirsty fabrics. Now what we do have to worry about dryness with is the fact that she wants to shower in water that's the temperature of East Hill. That's a whole separate video altogether. Things like what type of fabric you have when you're sleeping are very important in terms of your moisture balance, but there's one more piece here, and that ties into resting in a certain manner, things like that. So a lot of times my clients will notice that I can tell them exactly how they sleep or how they're waking up based on looking at their hair. And a lot of times that's because whatever side you're laying on, because you're moving, your arm is in there, things like that, you tend to have more friction, and that friction is going to cause those ends to gradually break, things like that. So if you are noticing that one side of the hair seems to always be shorter or the ends seem more sparse than the other side, there's a good chance that you're sleeping on that side quite a bit more than you are on the other side. So using a satin or silk can kind of help out with reducing that friction. If you have curly hair, putting it up into a pineapple can help out with reducing that friction because all of your ends are now up at the top. And I don't know too many people who sleep on the top of their heads. I don't know what type of stuff you got going on in your bed, but I don't sleep on the top of my head. One more bonus tip. I've got so many bonus tips. If you are noticing that you are losing hair and density back here, keep in mind when you're riding in the car, the headrest can have something to do with that. So putting a bit of a satin fabric instead of like a t-shirt or one of those weird looking covers over it can actually help out with ensuring that it's on a slippery fabric that is moisture resistant as well. And then typically during the winter time, when you've got on more sweaters that are made of wool and just itchy and really thirsty fabrics, pulling that hair into up styles where it's not resting on your collar, things like that can be great, because that way you don't have to worry about your hair resting on thirsty fabric either, or on fabric that's rather abrasive. So I know it's a ton of information. Honestly, it should have been like at least 3 different videos, but you're welcome. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, take care, God bless, stay glam, and you know I love you, boo. Bye.